with light, serenity, a holy peace. He shows his love is free and wide. He is the master of my life. He washes over me with light, serenity, a holy peace. He shows his love is free and wide. He is the master of my life. He has chosen me. I have chosen him. Let there be nothing, nothing in between, nothing in between. He carries me beneath his wing, from glory to the deepest pain. I dance beside him in the rain. His goodness has become my strength. He carries me beneath his wing, from glory to the deepest pain. I dance beside him in the rain. His goodness has become my strength. He has chosen me. I have chosen him. Let there be nothing, nothing in between, nothing in between. He has chosen me. I have chosen him. Let there be nothing, nothing in between, nothing in between. He's making all things new. A precious flower in his hand. There is nothing he can do. It's because of him I stand. He's making all things new. Precious flower in his hand. There is nothing he can do. It's because of him I stand. He has chosen me. I have chosen him. Let there be nothing, nothing in between, nothing in between.
Good morning, friends. Um, Let me see. I know Mike is here and Sally, Jason, Daryl. Welcome. You guys all get the prize for being early. Up, and Daniel snuck in. He snuck into his seat before class started. So, and Sally, to answer your question, I will be going back to Penn State for my daughter's graduation. Let me move that. So it won't be until May, but I will be back early May. So maybe we can figure something out. I don't know how to get down there a day early or whatever, because that means then we'd have to take two cars. But I'll think about it. See if I can figure something out. So early May. Hey, Allie, how are you, hon? And we have Daniel. So today, there's two things I want to talk about, and they kind of sort of just came to me because of what today was. Um, and then I was trying to see if they could fit together, both topics. So we'll see how I do, if I can do a good job at doing this or not. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about is, does anybody know what March 19th is? And I only learned what it was. I never knew, to be honest, but a month or so ago, somebody was talking about it, which is what made me think about it. But March 19th is St. Joseph's Day. But what I don't know, I want to say it was the day, it's a remembrance day for the day he died, but do not quote me on that one. But what I wanted to talk about is, think about this guy. So I just wanted to talk a few minutes about him because it is his day. But here's a guy, pretty, Joseph, Mary and Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus. Pretty important role he had, right? Yet I don't think there's a spoken word from him in all of Scripture. And I know Daniel's on, so Daniel may know better than me, but I don't think so. And but just think for a second, I think sometimes when we talk about these biblical characters, um, it's a nice story, right? Because we envision them in like a robe with a rope belt and their sandals on. It's just a story in our head. So let's pull Joseph into today. Imagine if it was 2025, and here you have, this young guy. He owns his own carpentry business. He has his own shop. It's going pretty well, and he's engaged to his fiance. And what I will say back then compared to today is I believe being engaged back in the day was certainly a stronger contract than it is today. I mean, I would argue that some people don't even think marriage is that strong of a contract. But so, and your fiance comes to you and says, Joseph, I'm pregnant. You can imagine what's probably going through his head, especially knowing that, he's never been with with Mary, his fiance, yet he's supposed to. And when he asked her what happened, she's like, well, it's God. I'm carrying God's son. An angel came to me. What would what would today's Joseph think? What would he tell his mother, right? What would he tell his friends when he ran into them? And if I have my context correctly, I believe Joseph was actually going to break off the engagement to Mary, but he was going to do it in private so as not to embarrass her or anything. But it was only, and before he did that, he was visited by an angel, right? And an angel comes to him and says, no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Just, follow it, do what God's asking. It's a good thing. So now picture Joseph, he's going to go forward, he's going to get married, but he's running into people saying, yep, Mary's pregnant. It's not mine. Yep, it's God's. What do you think people of today would say? What judgments do you think would pass? And I bring up the story because where I think it's important is how many of us get a calling or a nudge, or, maybe you don't have an angel come visit you in your dream, but you have something inside yourself that's calling you to do something different or something more or a different direction. How many of us put put down our current circumstances to follow what our purpose is supposed to be, like Joseph did? So I guess that's the moral of the whole story is I just wanted to bring it more into today and just relate it to how would we act today if we were asked to put down all our beliefs, even if it didn't make sense to follow your purpose. And that's it. I'm not going to ask anybody to respond to that, but I just want to leave you with that. Um, and then it sort of brings me into the second thing I wanted to talk about, and then I'll get into the chat. And that was Today is, I don't know if anybody follows, the lunar calendar or anything like that. But today is the last day of Pisces. And Pisces is, a really emotional type of deep type of season, the month of Pisces. And tomorrow is starts the month of Aries. And in the lunar calendar, Aries is the first month of the calendar versus, which to me makes more sense, right? It's the start of spring, it's the start of things growing, um, versus our calendar starts in January, in the middle of winter. So from that perspective, I think the lunar calendar makes more sense. And what it represents is like new beginnings, but not only new beginnings, it's about taking the impossible and making it possible. And certainly there is no greater story of possibility than Easter Sunday, right? If Jesus not rising from the dead isn't the greatest possibility that we've ever heard, um, I don't know what is. So I just wanted to talk about that for a few minutes as far as what right now some of us may be feeling there's something that we can leave behind, that maybe something has even come to closure for us. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's a job, whatever it is. And it's okay to leave it behind with the month of Pisces. That's the end of the lunar calendar. And it's okay to step in tomorrow with a renewed sense of possibility, of freshness. Um, just see if I captured everything I wanted to talk about. Um, oh, and I know I talked about this last week, was one of the greatest stresses on us today is, and there was research studies done, both Harvard and Stanford, that the greatest stress is when we are performing and being somebody that we're really not meant to be. Or, sometimes we sort of walk beside our life and not really engaged in our life. So again, with the new month coming on, maybe it's time to step back into our life and be who we're supposed to be, and maybe listen to that, which I call our soul. Listen to our soul. Listen to that quiet whisper of what's being called and asked of us. I think I just wanted everybody to stop and think about that. And I think and just I made a comment about my dogs. There's a sad story about one of my dogs. But anyways, thinking of my dogs this morning, they get up every morning and they're just excited to see us, right? They don't care how many views I have on my video. They don't care um, what I did yesterday. They're just so full of love and they're just so full of being in the moment. Sometimes I think if we could, sometimes I think they're listening to their calling more than we are, right? They're being who they're supposed to be. And maybe if we could all be um, like God's creatures more so than with our mind, because our mind, the other thing I've recently read is that our heart is 60 times um, stronger and in the moment than our mind is. Yet it's our mind that we always seem to listen to. But maybe we need to start listening to our heart more. Um, and maybe from that we can be more present. And one of the things that I always say is having a morning ritual, whatever that is, to wake up every morning instead of just waking up to the noise of our life. If we could consciously, and it's a habit, to consciously think of how you're going to step into the day. And whether it's through meditation, whether it's through journaling, whether it's through just getting outside and turning your face up to the sun, because I know Okies, Eden gets out there all the time in the morning with his sunrise, and Sally does. And maybe it's something as simple as that, but making a conscious choice to how you face your day. Um, and I guess one of the other things that I recently heard that I wanted to share because I really thought it was a good metaphor was, we find ourselves praying, right, and asking God or trying to step into, a higher vibration, a higher wavelength to where all our desires are. Because I say it all the time, right? Your vibration will always precede your manifestation. But what I heard, and I thought this was a great metaphor. None of us, at least I don't believe so, have ever walked into a restaurant and you sit down and you order your food, right? And first of all, I know we've all had these type of waiters where they don't write anything down. They're just like, okay, you want grilled cheese and how do you want your steak? And they just seem to remember everything. I'm the type of person who's like, write it down, please write it down. But they don't. But they typically get it right. But once you place your order, has anyone ever gotten up from the table and gone into the kitchen saying, where's my order? Why isn't it done yet? Where's my order? I just ordered. Where is it? Well, sometimes I think that's what we expect of God when we pray. Like, okay, God, I've prayed. You say if we come together and we ask and we believe, um, you know, you will fulfill whatever we're asking for um, to some degree. You know what I mean? Usually what's best for us. So maybe we just need to be a bit more patient because you got to remember, at least my impression of God is that there is no time with God, right? Sort of with the soul. There is no time with the soul. The only time is in our mind and our body. So, which is, that earthly vessel. Anyways, I probably didn't do it justice the way this woman explained it. She did a really good job. But I'm like, you're right. You don't get up in a restaurant and start demanding where's your food you just ordered. So just think about that, I guess, next time any of us are praying for something. But um, let me hop back into the chat. Okay. Hello, Okies Eden. Yeah, you got a membership last night, Jason. I would imagine you got notified, but or I think they would notify you. Hey, Allie. TikTok goes to clock very slowly. I like your welcome sign. Thank you. I think you mean mine. I actually took that picture this morning. It was right before the sunrise this morning. Um, the sky was completely pink through the clouds. It was pretty cool. Hey, Scott. I'm glad you could sneak in, even if you're multitasking for a minute. Hey, soul brothers and sisters. Going hiking for a video this afternoon. I hope the weather's nice for you, Daniel. I think Mike was telling me it's supposed to be close to 70 this weekend where he's at. I don't see anything warm for the next 10, 12 days or so. I think the best I see is 40. So nothing warm for us anytime soon. Your face is the word. The Ides of March. I thought I thought that was the other day, but I could be wrong. Almighty Leader Scott. Yes, Papa Scott. Papa Scott. Good morning. Working but trying to listen. Hey, CL. I love having you here. And Scott, Sally's out of control, and that's different than what? I think she's out of control every day. But I don't think we'd have her any other way, would we? She wouldn't be Sally if she wasn't. Could you imagine Sally not being Sally and just getting on in the morning and reading from one of her books and, okay, folks, now let's talk about this. Yeah, I don't know. They would film it and put it on TikTok. TikTok. Okay, I missed something. That is so weird you're talking about Saint Joseph because I was actually going to do a reading about him this morning. I was wondering if you were going to, Sally, because I know how you read it's National whatever day or whatever the holiday is. So I thought you were going to too. I probably still would have done it, but I saw also was going to talk about Aries. So even if you had done it, then I had something else that I could talk about. So The angel said to Joseph, "You got this." Yes. How many of us feel like we got it, though? Would you walk away? Would you walk away if you had that calling, that knowing that? And I don't even think he had a calling. I mean, everything about what he was being asked to do did not resonate on paper. There was no precedent. There was no nothing. He just had to walk in faith. So, did I miss Cheryl? Hey, Cheryl. Oh, how are you, hon? I did miss you. I'm sorry. Going to be listening while working out. Good for you, Jen. I hope you're doing good, hon. So, uh, hi, Daryl. Hope your day is getting better. Yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe we can all even. Um, I had talked on my last live stream about scheduling another, just doing like a power of intention, power of prayer circle. And I do think I'm going to do it on Mondays, at least on the calendar that I have. Mondays seem to be the lightest day. I still don't know a time yet. Um, but I was thinking right before dinner time or maybe late afternoon as everybody's leaving work. I just know then I can't have any of my European friends on if I do it that late. So, but I'll think about it. But it'll probably be Monday, and I probably will start this Monday. And I know Sally's trying to coordinate something else too. So I'll get it time to you, Sally, to let you know. But um, hey, Granny, I'm glad you could pop in, hon. Looking forward to your book club tonight. Granny has her book club. It might be the first meeting of the book club. Um, I want to say 8, but maybe drop it in the chat, Granny, because as I'm saying 8, it might be 6. So I don't want to mislead anybody. So drop it in the chat, Granny, please. Hello, hello, hello. I am in a new place right now. I've allowed myself to not have any videos pre-made and ready to go. I'm out. I have to make a new video today if I want one to come out. It's scary and exciting. You know what's nice about that, Scott, is it's in the moment, right? Think about it. Like even the picture I put up for my opening screen, it was just something from this morning. It was something that, resonated with me. Think about being in the moment, whatever you're feeling at that time. I mean, I've never scheduled my videos that far out. Usually I'm not as organized as you. But think about it, whatever you're feeling, even if, you may not be talking about what you're feeling, but that will be brought into your conversation, that emotion um, will just be brought into it. It'll just have a whole new level of authenticity to it. And especially if you put it out the same day or within a day. Um, I don't know. I just think so much more will come across versus, scheduling it. I think you did at least a week or 2 weeks out. I remember once you had a bunch of videos scheduled. I was so impressed because you were so organized. I'm organized, but I'm not I'm more spur of the moment. Always been like that. I wish I could be organized or plan more. Plan more is better because I am organized. Taking away the comfort zone. That's a good way to put it. And I just said it to somebody recently that you just got to step one step outside that comfort zone. You just got to be 10% outside the circle because that's where the growth is. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone. It just doesn't. That's good, Scott. It's exciting. Yes, it is. Cool, Scott. I don't do anything in advance. Well, I can relate to you, CL. Hello, Jen. Jump in the deep end, Scott. It's supernatural. Easter is my favorite. Jesus constantly talked about being gone and going ahead of us and preparing the way. Then it happened, and we have to remember. Absolutely. And I mean, again, when you think about it, it's Easter Sunday is a whole new beginning, right? It's a whole new beginning because our sins are washed away, um, which sometimes I think people take that too far. But anyways, like won't go there. Hey, Mike and DG, Granny, CL, Jen, Allie, D, Sally, Okie. I think you got everybody. I think you got everybody. Scott, it's freezing to just roll. It's freeing to roll with the flow. You roll with the flow a lot, Granny. I'm always in, you just turn the camera on, no matter where you're at, what you do, and it just you get a message or you're doing something and you want to share it with us. I love that. I've told you that. I love that. Mike gave out like 40 memberships last night on my channel. Crazy guy. Uh, oh, thank you, Allie. 63. I wish it was 63. Oh my goodness, it would be so balmy here if it was 63. March 15th is the day Caesar was murdered. Yeah, okay. So I thought it was earlier this week. 68 here. I don't know. Let me tell you what it is here, guys, because I know you'll be jealous when I tell you how warm it is here. You see? 35. Feels like 29. Don't get too excited. So, one of these days it'll warm up. 57. We should do a progression of sunrise pictures, all on the same day. Those of us on the East Coast take a picture and post, and then progressively across the country to see what the sun looks like. That's a good idea, Granny. That's a good idea. And it probably makes sense, but I think the sun rises up here, like before it uh, rises down there for you, doesn't it? Aren't you a few minutes or so, maybe 5, 10 minutes after us up here? Um, Hold on, let me look. So look it up. My sunrise for tomorrow is 6:47. When is your sunrise for tomorrow? What is it? What's the posted time? Never heard of St. Joseph's Day. Cheryl, in all fairness, I didn't either. It was only like a month ago. Part of this program that I'm in was talking about it. So, and I'm surprised I even remembered it when I was trying to think of what to talk about today. So, like I said, I'm trying to listen more to my inner guide, to God, to whatever he wants me to talk about. So, I feel like when I got that download, if you would, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to talk about. But I wanted to just bring it into today's environment. I think sometimes, again, I think stories get lost. Just it's a story, but if you could relate it to today, I just think sometimes I think we can relate more. You asked how would people react to Saint Joseph 2026. Did I say 2026? I may have said 2025 now that I think about it. They would post his reaction on TikTok. You're right. Yes, they would. Very good point. Very good point. Entertaining. You are entertaining, Sally. I took Monday off from work and it rained. The rest of this week was beautiful, but my office doesn't face the direction of the sunrise. Do you work from home, CL? I think, did you tell me you did? I think you told me you did. Or maybe I'm confusing you with Scott. I think Scott works virtual. You were right. The 19th is St. Joseph's Day. I'm not Catholic, so I don't usually follow all the days for the saints. Yeah, if you just looked it up, Allie, did it say why they designated March 19th as his day? I remember reading it wasn't like his birthday or anything. It may have been the day he believed he died, but I think there's some controversy around that. So I'm not really sure if they have a reason as to why March 19th is it. I also love history. I do too. I never did, Allie. Oh my goodness, all through school and or never did. I would say only in the last 6, 7 years, I'm really, really enamored by it. And sometimes I think history tries to get rewritten, but or repeat itself. And that's the important thing about not rewriting history is because we got to learn from it, right? If we don't learn from it, it's just going to keep repeating itself. It's kind of like some of the lessons we go through in our own life. I feel God continues, or the universe, whatever, continues to put them in our way until we learn what we're supposed to from it before it changes. And I think I've shared this story, but I don't know if everybody's heard this story. But my husband got laid off October of 2024, and he already had a couple opportunities when because he knew he was getting laid off. So he already had a couple opportunities. And one opportunity, he was like 8 interviews deep into it. So we really weren't concerned. But then he didn't get it. And then the time just kept ticking on, ticking on, ticking on. It was like 15 months later, still no job. Over 57 interviews, still no job. And it wasn't until I said that I turned to him because it dawned on me, maybe there's a lesson here. Maybe there's a lesson we're supposed to learn here. And I think it was actually him that was supposed to learn the lesson. And I remember asking him, what have you learned in these, 15 months that you've been off? And to his credit, he sat down, he actually put a list together of like 2 dozen different things and he sent it to me. And the lot, appreciate your time off. There was a lot of different things like, enjoy your family. But towards the bottom, which is what really sticks in my head, it's probably the only one that really sticks in my head, is he said that he's gotten closer to God. He's learned how to talk to God. My husband has never been very spiritual. He's not against it, and he supports me in every way. Always went to church with me. He's very supportive that way, but he's never had a relationship ever with God. So he learned that in the 15 months. And as soon as he said it out loud, I'm not joking, within 2 weeks, he got these three amazing offers. So sometimes I think history just keeps repeating itself until you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn, I guess is the moral of my story. But so, Daryl, and I'm not making light because I know right now, you and Sally are really walking on faith. Just make sure you're asking yourself, is there a lesson here that God wants me to learn? Is there something that he wants me to take away from this? And say it and speak it. Write it down. I'm not saying you have to speak it to us, but share it with Sally. Share it with your son. And sometimes I think that's all it takes. So, anyways, enough babbling. Yes, first meeting 8 o'clock. Oh, good, I got it right. Hey, how are you, hon? This is a very good friend of mine. Her name is, well, she may not want me to share what her name is, but she's my Florida friend that I went to visit a month or so ago. I don't remember exactly when, maybe 6 weeks ago. And she actually watched my last live stream on Sunday where I was showing you folks the my daughter's license plate. And for the folks who are on the live stream, remember it said 2222. It was four twos. And so when after she had watched the replay, she was texting me and calling me, letting me know because she knows numerology a heck of a lot better than I do. So she was telling me what it represents and stuff, but she was also pointing out the fact that my daughter's birthday is November, and in the state of New Hampshire, they put the sticker of your birth month on the plate. So there was an 11 below. So she said that represents even yet another two because in numerology you add them together like that. So I'm like, dang, I should have had you on my live stream. So shout out to you, hon. I'm glad you could make it. I make a video and I post it, but I don't have any special time or anything. I make a video and I post it. Is that something I mentioned? See, I'm so slow here. Can't wait for book club. Agreed, Allie. Thanks, Allie, even though Scott does not believe in the like button. So I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to hit the like button. 11 a.m. I am thinking Monday through Friday, or maybe just Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, so think about it. Obviously it's up to you, hon. Monday through Friday may be a lot, but maybe not. Maybe it's something that will help you through this season. So think about it. Sally, that's how I do it too, more willy-nilly. Yeah, but maybe, Granny, but it always comes across at the right time. Always comes across at the right time. But sometimes I think, does anybody ever, um, but I'm always looking for messages. That's the thing, right? And I say it all the time. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And I am constantly looking for messages or for miracles because I truly believe miracles are all around us. It's just if we can see them or not. And I think the greatest miracle starts within here. And once we can change in here is when we can start seeing what's going on out here. So what I was going to say is so often I see videos show up in my feed and I'm like, dang, I really needed to hear that right now. Um, so and that's how I feel about some of your videos, Granny. Some of the things you talk about, you talk about people being kind or just different things. I'm like, oh, that's a good message. And I really needed to hear that right now. So maybe willy-nilly to you, but sometimes I believe in this divine timing, divine orchestration. So I think it's important to let your videos soak. Important to let your videos soak. Whoa, rocket launch. Oh, did a rocket just take off, Allie? Because I know you're near Granny, I don't understand why people look at these analytics and do such things. I just slap it out there. Yes, Sally, I'm learning. I'm learning not to look at them. Um, I don't even look at my videos. I have no idea where any of them are. So I'm just putting my messages out there. Yep, that's me. Everybody is different. Some are more methodical. They have to be themselves. Correct. Me because I'm old and I don't want to worry about numbers. I have never done that because you know what? In the beginning, when I did it, it made me crazy. Well, and one of the things, Sally, and you do this really well, is it always says when you pray for something, or y- you're supposed to just let it go. You're supposed to pray for it and then let the outcome go, right? You don't worry about the how, you don't worry about the when. And because you've let that go, I mean, you've always said you didn't want your channel to grow and it just has, right? So you've just let go of the outcome. You're just you and you've let go of the outcome and see what happens. So Sally's really a good model like that, folks. You know, too cloudy to see the rocket. You don't want me more crazy than I already am. It's too, yeah, you talking about my temperature? Yeah, it's too cold for me towards the end of March too. Sally, I think some people listen to many different YouTube coaches and get differing advice and it stresses them out. This is true. This is true. And I think I shared a couple weeks ago how the views on my videos literally stopped. They just stopped. The impressions have stopped. I mean, it's not zero impressions, but I used to get, in the thousands of impressions. And now if I get 100 impressions, I'm lucky. So not really sure. But it's funny, there's been 4 or 5 different folks who have done videos on this, and they're all different reasons. Only 2 of them were the same. 2 coaches, I guess, or whatever, had the same reasoning. Um, and those 2 coaches had the same reasoning as what Gemini had when I asked Gemini. But yeah, it's all different, right? And I think the other thing, Scott, is you have these coaches out there that are teaching YouTube, and I think they can teach the tactical stuff and certain things. But I do believe, and even though I was told it's not true, I believe each niche is different. Believe some niches are harder than other niches, and I think it just has a different format or a different method for growing a channel than somebody who teaches YouTube. I don't want to make it sound like that somebody who teaches YouTube has it easy and they just get views. I'm not saying that at all, but I think it's a different process than somebody who maybe has a channel like myself, a channel like Scott's. And I don't think they take that into consideration sometimes. Or maybe they do now, but the experiences that I've had, I didn't feel they did. So, uh, okay. We would have to figure it all out. We'd have to figure it all out. I don't know what that is, Granny. I have been fishing with no luck. I tried to do a St. Patty's Day challenge and failed 3 times. Weather is crazy and the bass are freaking out. But tell Allie, that's okay. Did you still video yourself? Because I think that gives encouragement for other folks that go out there and try and fish and they don't catch anything that day. You know? Um, Sometimes you win and sometimes you just don't catch a fish. So I say throw it out there anyways, and I'm sure there's a message um, in that. And I think it's more the message than whether you catch a fish or not. I think we like following you and not necessarily the fish that. So I don't know. That's just my thought. Today's the anniversary of daylight savings time in the US. Rest in peace, never forget. Daylight saving. I don't I don't is that when they decided to start doing it, Scott? I guess I don't know what that means. And I hate the whole idea of daylight savings times. I mean, I get it, but I hate the whole, though I do appreciate it in the fall when you get that extra hour, but then it's so dark so early. Okay, so it's literally it's like 30, 35, 36 minutes after us. So you can do one. I don't know if it's going to be sunny tomorrow though. Um, but we should coordinate it sometime. Yeah, it is going to be sunny tomorrow. So everybody who is on the East Coast should try and get a sunrise picture. And mine will be at 6:47, and then you Floridians would be around 7, what'd you say, 25? I think that's a good idea. Don't be jealous, 42. I would take 42, Sally. I would take 42. It's a lot nicer to run in 42 than it feeling like 29. Our high is supposed to be 73. Oh, see, to me, that's perfect, Granny. That's just perfect. I don't like the 85 and above, but anywhere in the 70s, low 80s, love it. I let the video soak for 24 hours because it gives them time for the algorithm to give the video to the right audience. I have heard that too, Allie. I have heard it gives, AI or the algorithm a chance to read through it and find the right audience. But what I will say, because I did listen to all the videos that popped up in my feed talking about why views have dropped, one of the things that one of them said, I'm going to give Scott a shout out here. And let him know he may have been right. Excuse me. That when people so now when the algorithm looks for who your audience is, it's not looking for the people who have subscribed to you. It is looking for new people, and it's looking for people who relate to the same viewing habits as some of your subscribers. I don't know if I explained that right. So if I'm just randomly, if Scott watches all just, car racing videos or just videos on cars, how to build cars, anything like that, and Scott subscribes to me, it's not necessarily that they're going to push my videos to Scott because he's already subscribed, so they feel that he'll go and find me or whatever, but they're going to push to Scott's people because they think that his viewers are like him. So my video will end up with people who watch his videos about cars. Hopefully, I explained that. Anyways, that's what a couple of them were saying that with the new algorithm, which was at the end of February. Um, and the other thing is, if you don't bring something new to the table, they just won't. They won't show. Like in other words, it's got to be original. And supposedly, this is around the AI and stuff. But one of the folks believes that the algorithm sort of went too far. But I know all my videos are real, authentic. I try and wrap my stories into them. So yeah, I don't know if that's the case, but like I said, there was several different reasons. But to what I know, Scott always says you shouldn't subscribe unless it's something you would actually watch. That was one of the things I heard is they don't necessarily send them to your subscribers anymore, but they send to the people around your subscribers, if that makes sense, because they think we all watch the same thing. So, hey there, how are you? Welcome, hun. Everyone in the chat. I'm going to the lake soon. Looks like rain. Okay, hun. You can bug out at any time. I know. I Let me see. It's quarter of. I always appreciate any time you guys can pop in here. Tradition holds that March 19th was believed to be the anniversary of St. Joseph's death. Okay, medieval legend said he answered prayers on that day. I'm not so sure Joseph can answer prayers, though. Hmm. See, that's what I read that it was the day he died, but then there was some controversy around it. So let me see. Is it good to fish in the rain? Do the fish like it? I had heard once that they do, but um, Allie would know. Yes, Scott, just before the rain is really good. And why is that, Allie? Is it because it's cool and the sun's not beating down? Why is that? I will remember that. I believe it all out in the end. I believe it all works out in the end. You're right, Daryl. It does. It always does. And that's one thing I tell my friends all the time. When you can, especially when, you know, I'm going to be 60 this year, and when I can look at, if I turn around and look at the rearview mirror of my life, everything's always worked out. So why would I think it's not going to continue to work out for me? It just will. It always has, and it will continue. And that's the same thing, Daryl. It's always worked out, always. So I'm listening, but cleaning out a new rice cooker we had gifted to us, and it's purple. Oh my goodness, that is funny. That is, it'll match. It'll match. I don't think I've ever seen a purple rice cooker. Oh, that's nice, Oki. I love rice. Hearts. Maybe that's when I gave you a shout out, hon. I never said I don't like the like button. I just don't think it really matters to you too. Okay, so I am really far behind. And I've tried to keep up, guys. Sunrise tomorrow is 6:55. Six, okay, so you're near us, but Granny's at 6:20, 7:25? Wow. That is wow, that's a big difference. Now that sunset is coming later, I was thinking about doing the live stream from the garden next week. Yes, I know we talked about that, I thought earlier in the year. Scott. I don't remember when I started watching your live streams, but I remember talking about the garden before, and you said it was just getting too dark. Um, so that'd be a great idea. Look forward to that. I don't know if that's to me, Granny, or just somebody else. God never led his people through numerology. He led them by an anointed servant, prophets, kings, priests, and the five-fold ministry. True, though I do believe that um, the Bible, when it talks through its seasons, it talks on the lunar calendar. Um, but no, not numerology. Um, so I think that's something that we humans have invented, Cheryl. Well, get to hit the garden. Things won't grow if they don't get planted. Thank you, Jason. Have a good day. You're probably already gone, but thank you. Today is free ice cream at Dairy Queen. I'm not sure we have a Dairy Queen around here. We used to, but I don't know if it's still open. But that's good to know. Today is free ice cream cone day. Um, I harvested thousands of marigold seeds from my plants and replanted those, and now those are sprouting. I'm going to start a marigold farm. Plus, the bees love them. Yes, the bees do love them, Scott. I keep waiting for the Dairy Queen worker who gets to hold my blizzard upside down, and I get it for free. Yeah, we don't, we have a big sign. There's a Dairy Queen up at the beach on our way to the beach, and there's a big sign that says they don't participate in that holding holding it upside down thing. So I guess they've failed probably too many times. Lucky out that there's no Dairy Queen near me. Same here, CL. DQ burgers and fries are lit. I'm trying to get through these. I think through my research and just going over my views, it helps to have videos that are scheduled ahead, like you have several coming. It's hard to accomplish. Definitely. At least, either that or I need to stop editing as much as I do. And I don't even feel I edit a lot. Um, it doesn't take me that long to edit, but I do go through them a few times. So. Hey Pam, I'm glad you could make it. Oh no, don't ever apologize. Don't ever apologize for being just glad you can make it. even if it's just for a minute, and I say it, you guys coming here, once, twice a week, it means the world to me because we are all too busy. We are all too busy. So it means a lot that, and even if you multitask, I'll take that. I'll take that. You're driving at the moment. Yeah. Um, Most of my videos, including my live streams, are all talking head. I don't usually show too much. I know I did a couple last time because I wanted to show you my daughter's hiking excursion and stuff, but I don't usually show too much. It could be fun to see the skies and the way God lights our world. Yeah, that would be cool. Top of the morning to you, Sally and Daryl. Top of the morning. I like that. Supposedly Alexa says my sun rises at 7:24. That is really weird. I just wouldn't expect you to be so far behind me, Sally. Got to get outside. Mama's sitting there drinking her coffee. Please tell Nana we said hello, Granny, and we will see you tonight at 8 o'clock. AI slop videos, just like a ton, them taking up views in every niche. Yes. And supposedly all this algorithm changes is all supposed to stop these AI videos, and no, no. There are many faceless music art channels that are huge. I have to constantly remind myself that they're overseas and they aren't building communities. Yeah, do you ever have those channels that just they have a one static picture, like maybe it's a cozy coffee shop or something and just has music playing in the background and it's a live stream and they have it playing for like, I don't know, 10 hours or whatever. Those are the ones that they should be going after. Those don't add any value. Those don't build a community. Um, but maybe people like them. So, hey Scott, what happened with all those zeros that we got yesterday? You mean the thumbs down? It's pouring rain here in Alberta for the first time in many winter months, so I know spring is on the way. Don't you even hear it different in the way the birds sing? The birds have a different song to them right now. And actually, I took a video, though you couldn't really see them. There had to be hundreds of birds in my yard the other day up in the trees because it sounded like you were in this bird sanctuary. Just, and again, I took a video just so you could hear it. Maybe I'll do something with it, but I don't know if it was, on their way back flying up from the south or what, but it was pretty cool to listen to. Um, hey Tyler, I'm glad you could drop in, hon. Are you going live tomorrow night, Tyler? And are you consistently on Friday nights? I know I've caught you a couple times on Friday nights. So if you are consistent, let's get you on the schedule. I know I also have to take Catherine off the schedule. She will only do right now, she's only going to do impromptu live streams. She's not going to do Mondays anymore for a while. So I got to take her off. Thanks for stopping by this morning. I appreciate you, my darling. The fish relaxed because the pressure that was building is released. Okay. Hello, CL. I can't to go live tomorrow and fish. Hello, CL. I can't to go live tomorrow and fish. You are so welcome, Sally. I didn't know you go live that early. Uh, hey, Tyler, why can't you go live tomorrow? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to shut you off. I meant I can't wait to go fishing. Haha. Okay, so this is like the third or fourth Friday that I've been on, will be on your live stream. So do you go the same time, Tyler? Or maybe I can just, write stay tuned, Tyler, on Fridays type of thing. Let me know if it's always going to be Friday. Gosh, it is so windy. That was us the other day. I'm writing on my laptop. I'm always on my iPad. Yeah, I haven't tried my phone or my iPad today, but the last pretty much all week I haven't been able to get into the comments on either one of those. So, and Mike was gracious enough to tell me that I had to get on my laptop because he was having the same problem. He said that he didn't have the issue on his laptop. So that's how I was able to get onto Scott's last night and actually talk. I work remote now, so I'm using my work laptop to watch YouTube. My work laptop blocks unauthorized URLs. Hey, Peter. Happy Thursday right back at you, hun. Thank you for popping in. Um, your videos are great, Lori. It's just not everyone is able to hear the truth or something helpful. Thanks, Allie. I do believe that, what's that saying? When they're ready to hear it, it'll come into their feed, and I know that. I saw a movie with lots of birds in a garden. It didn't end well. Are you referencing my birds that I told you? I'm telling you, I tried to zoom in. I could see them, but my camera really couldn't capture them. But hundreds, I'm telling you, there was hundreds of birds in my yard. Siri says sunrise here is at 7:22, so I guess Alexa wasn't lying. Well, wow. So I'm a half hour before you, Sally. That is crazy. You're not that far from me, but okay. Okay. We have been having some beautiful birds. Yeah, my hummingbirds. My hummingbirds usually come back the very beginning of May. So another month or so, I can start putting the feeder back out. And I hang it right in front of, we have a bay window in our kitchen, and I hang it right in front of the window. And it's amazing to see them up close and to see their little wings. But it's funny, we've all been trained that you walk into the kitchen, if there's a hummingbird at the feet, we all just pause because it must see our reflection or something and it darts off. We've actually been successful in having our phones with us to be able to take a couple videos of some hummingbirds. So that's pretty cool. Might have to share those. Those are really cool now that I think about it. Yes, I will try and be live every Friday evening since the sun doesn't go down too late. Okay, so I'm just at least going to put you on the schedule for Fridays, and it will be around 6. Okay, great. Still hearing yes. I noticed the birds this morning. I was like, birds are back. I haven't heard them for a while singing in the morning. Yeah, and it's a different song, Mike. It's just a different song in them. It's something. Okay, good to know, Cheryl. I was still having the problem yesterday. So like I said, I haven't tried today, so I will. What's today? Thursday? Does anybody else go live today? I have to think about that. I have to look at the schedule. Alfred Hitchcock had a way of turning harmless birds into killers. No kidding, right? No kidding. Ah, oh, I thought I was almost done. Yesterday there was a big, oh, good timing. Yesterday there was a big murder of crows in our front yard. What? See, I like keeping the crows around. So I will throw stale bread. Our yard backs up to conservation land, so we have bird feeders out along the property line there. And I'll throw bread because crows will actually chase off hawks. And I'm okay with hawks as long as they're not around my chickens. So I like keeping the crows around because the crows will literally chase off hawks. I'm not sure why, but I've witnessed it several times now. So I love having them around. The movie was scary. It's an old movie, Cheryl, but it's still scary, isn't it? Yes, it was. I love that movie. I Your phone is working today. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I'm so proud of myself. And I do have my book here. I was gonna say maybe I don't have my book. All right. So March 19th. March 19th. March 19th, mental health. Don't confuse mental health strength with Don't confuse mental strength with mental health. Mental strength is resilience, grit, and the ability to navigate what life throws at you. It's what you lean on when the chips are down and there's nobody to rely on but yourself. Mental health, on the other hand, is different. It's wider and it's deeper. It encompasses everything about you, helping make sense of the senseless, and is the foundation upon which your life will be built. So, yes, having mental strength is important, but mental health is truly what you need to understand, what you need to be, what you need to be so strong for in the first place. So ask yourself this: what will I do today to prioritize my mental health? And the purpose of March 19th, which I forgot to read, was making sense of the senseless and securing your place in the world. So that was March 19th. So I did it. I got through all the comments, and with 3 minutes to spare, folks, I'm very excited. Did I miss? Crows like to roost when it's cold. Yeah. Even when I run, Allie, the route that I run, I pass a lot of wild turkeys, and they literally will like dart in front of me, and they'll fly up to roost on a tree or something that I'm running by. Uh, so it's kind of cool to see them too. And all the toms are out. You can see all the toms. Um, it's kind of fun. There was at least 50 of them. Wow, so they must be flying back from somewhere then. That's a lot, Daryl. There were so many crows here in Florida this winter. Yeah. So I have 2 minutes, and I read Thoughtuary. If it's okay, I'm just going to close out with just a quick prayer. There's a lot of us here, and maybe if we could all just send positive energy and send love to, well, there's a lot of us. I know there's a lot of us that are going through seasons right now. So I don't want to exclude anybody, but for this particular one, I just, if we could send love and support to everybody here in the chat, I guess. Even yesterday, we got some news about one of my dogs. So, um, so let me just close out with the prayer, and we'll end. And if you don't want to pray, that's okay too. Feel free to drop. Um, Otherwise, if we could just take a deep breath and just think of somebody here in the chat or somebody in your own life and just put your thoughts on them. Dear Heavenly Father, you've always said that when two or more people gather in your name, that you're present and that you'll hear us. I'll take it a step further, dear God, and say that I know you're present all the time. You're present with each one of us, inside each one of us. In fact, you breathe life into each one of us. So today, you know what is on each one of our hearts. You know where we're aching. You know where maybe we just need a little bit more strength to carry us through uh, this next road that we have to journey down. So whatever's in front of us, Lord, just please help us through it. We don't doubt anything that you're currently working in our lives. We trust it. We have faith in it. And we believe it's divinely orchestrated. But sometimes, we are human and we falter. So please just give us strength, give us love, send us who we need in the moment that we need them. And in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. So that's it, folks. 11 on the nose. I did it. I love you guys, and it means the world to me that you're here. Okay. I will see you on Granny's Live tonight, if not before then. Take care. I love you guys. I truly do. Love you.